Nice bubbly starter that I'm sharing with a friend. I'm gonna give her about 50 or 60 grams of bubbly starter, about 50 or 60 grams of water, and about the same amount of flour. First, we need 500 grams. I'm going to use organic white whole wheat flour, but you could also use all-purpose flour. It's about 3 cups of flour. Pressed hair. And I'm going to do about 200 grams of sorghum flour. You could also use bread flour or any flour that you choose. 200 grams can be about a heaping cup. We are going to do 250 grams of fresh ground spelt grain. I don't have a grain mill, so I just use my Vitamix. Then we're going to add about 650 grams of water. And give it a good stir with a wooden spoon, or you can use your hand. This just allows the flour to hydrate before you add the sourdough starter and the rest of the ingredients. And it's called autolyse. And it's the same reason that when you're making pancakes, you let the batter sit for a few minutes before you cook them. It takes dry flour a little bit of time to absorb all the water. So I'm just gonna finish mixing this up and I'm gonna cover it with a damp towel. Okay, I allowed my flour and water to absorb, and now I'm going to add 200 grams of bubbly sourdough starter. I just shared my starter with a friend, so I am pretty light now. But that's all right. I'll feed it again, and then I'll have a whole bunch tomorrow. And then I'm gonna just press this in, poke this in a little bit into my dough. I'm going to add 20 grams of salt. I'm not going to knead it. I'm just going to mix it until it's combined. This is a no knead recipe. So instead of kneading, all we need to do is mix it for a few minutes, get all that bubbly starter mixed with the rest of the flour, and then we're gonna do a few stretch and folds before we let it sit for 6 hours. Mix just until the sourdough starter is well incorporated with the rest of the flour, and then cover with a damp towel and allow to rest for 30 minutes. Next comes the stretch and fold, and we're going to do about 6 of these. You can do them every 20 to 30 minutes. And after that, we allow it to double in size out of the refrigerator. Get Mommy.
She's in there.
I always feel like it's gonna break. I don't know if I'm doing it right, and it always turns out good.
It's like you keep making a dumpling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of in the mood for pudding. Like April brought to Thanksgiving. I could whip that up for us.
Much longer.
After 6 stretch and folds, about 20 to 30 minutes apart, we are gonna put this covered in the refrigerator overnight for 12 hours or up to 3 days. Turn the oven to 500 degrees and put in a Dutch oven to preheat for half an hour. Now we're gonna take the dough from the fridge. It's been in here over 12 hours. We're gonna separate it into 2 loaves. Tuck the ends under one. Put it back in the fridge. You can bake it within 3 to 5 days or less. Now we're gonna get some parchment paper out of the, I'm just gonna reuse the one I've been using. You can use this a few times before you need to throw it away. Tuck the ends under. And score with a knife. You can also use a razor. When the oven's done heating, you'll be ready to pop it in. Set timer for 25 minutes. After uncovering, turn the heat down to 450, bake for another 25 minutes, and then remove from the oven. Got some white bean potato soup cooking to go with the bread. I'm gonna take it out and wait until it cools for about a half an hour before I cut it.